Oh, hey there. I'm Madeline, and this is my DCP bucket list. Part 1.
Alright everyone, put on your opera glasses because it's time to present Maestro Mickey Mouse and the Philharmaddy Orchestra.
So as I mentioned on my previous video, which is my DCP tag, I said I would be doing a bucket list video, and well, I realized how much stuff I had on it and figured out that no, one is not enough. So I've actually split this up into 2 top 10s. So this is my top 10 bucket list items that are non-food related, because that will be part 2 in the next video. So without further ado, let's get into it with number 10, pin trading. So this is something that I've never actually done as a guest. I've always wanted to, but just never got around to. I've never even bought a pin for myself, only as a gift for other people. So I'm super excited that the fact that I get to be paid to do it as a merchandise cast member makes it even better. So this is one I know that I am definitely going to be able to cross off my list. I feel like almost everyone has this on their list, but I still really want to do it, and that's become a wilderness explorer. I've never done it at Animal Kingdom. I don't actually even know if it was around when I was last there, which was back in like 2011, because I didn't go to Animal Kingdom on my last trip. So I'm super excited to just explore the parks in an entirely different way and just meet some amazing cast members while doing it. Number 8 is kind of a combination of a few things. So it's essentially being goofy on attractions safely. You see some pictures out there and people are not being safe, and I do not want to risk myself getting injured or turned. So just the caveat of being goofy on attractions while also still being safe. So that's things like wacky attraction photos and sort of group stunt photos on attractions. And of course being called out in attractions, whether it be having my joke read on the Monsters Inc. laugh floor, or also being the Rebel Spy in Star Tours, so that sort of thing. Now, some of you may know that there is actually a barber shop on Main Street, and I always thought that was just for like babies' first haircuts, but no. You can, as an adult, get a trim in Disney World, and that is number 7 on my bucket list. So this is, well, I'm gonna have to get a haircut before I go, because my ombre is not, unfortunately, Disney look. But given that my program is 5 months long, I'm probably gonna need a haircut at some point, so that's where I'm gonna go. Keeping on the style trend, number 6 is to Disney bound. Now, I've done maybe a tiny bit of this on my last trip, but not that much, and I definitely want to have more character interactions while Disney bounding. And of course, trying to get together a group Disney bound or do Dapper Day. Hopefully I can get the day off for that, fingers crossed. But yeah, I really want to do Dapper Day and dress up as the characters. And also recently, that just came to Walt Disney World, is Character Couture, which is basically like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, but for adults. So definitely looking to check that one out. The next one on my list is again a kind of bundled one, which is to attend a cast member only event or do things that I can only do at Walt Disney World as a cast member. So whether this be a backstage tour that only cast members can get access to. Unfortunately, it looks like the big attractions won't be open while I'm there. The Skyliner won't be open, Star Wars doesn't come till fall, Mickey and Minnie... Blech, how do I say that? Words. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is coming in fall as well, just announced at D23. So the only thing I think I might be able to get a preview of is the new show at Hollywood Studios that's replacing the Star Wars nighttime show at the Chinese theatre, but even then, I don't know. But of course, there's always things like the Starlit Splash, I think that's what it's called. It's the one where they basically rent out the entirety of Typhoon Lagoon for a night, so that looks like fun, and definitely want to do that while I'm there. And on the subject of working, my number 4 is to work in all 4 parks. So as a merchandise cast member, I am actually globally trained, so I will be able to work in all 4 parks as long as I have the relevant additional training for each location. Of course, I'm probably going to just for the first month or two at least, just stay in my own location, just so that I get used to everything, because working retail is fine, but working retail with American money and in Disney World is gonna be a completely whole new experience. So definitely want to just settle in first before I start trading shifts to go elsewhere, but I definitely do want to trade shifts and work in all 4 parks. Now, number 3 is all about the resorts. So I've actually only ever visited 2 resorts on property, and that has been staying in Port Orleans French Quarter and very briefly walking through Riverside. And I am really wanting to just visit every single resort. All of them have such interesting theming and activities and food courts, and I just want to check them all out at some point on my program. And I really, really want to stay in a deluxe resort for a night. I have only ever stayed in a moderate. I will actually be staying in one of the value resorts for my first night right before check-in, and I'm hopefully going to vlog some of that. Stay tuned for check-in day vlogs. It's not for another bit under 2 months, but you know, I'm hyped. I originally had number 2 as trying out the Parkeology Challenge. So for those of you who don't know, it is the WDW 47 or whatever number it is now, because it constantly changes depending on when rides are being refurbed and what new rides come out. But it's basically doing every single moving attraction in one day. And I'm talking across all 4 parks. Unfortunately, we only get to reserve fast passes 7 days in advance. You have to have a resort stay to try and make use of extra magic hours, make sure you have a day off. It's just going to be too hard. So as much as I wanted to, I don't think I'm going to be able to attempt that. But I do want to try and do 4 parks in one day without a car, so just going by Disney transportation. So we'll see how that goes. And in addition to that, trying to attempt at least some of the ultimate touring plans. So for those who don't know them, Touring Plans is a website. You might recognize them for their unofficial guide to Walt Disney World, which I read cover to cover almost every year. I have a problem. So their ultimate touring plan is where you do everything in that park in one day. Magic Kingdom, I don't think it will be possible for me to do everything, including all the shows and meet and greets, because the only people who have actually managed to complete it have done it in a 24-hour event, and I don't even know if they have those anymore. But yeah, if there was a 24-hour event in Magic Kingdom, I wouldn't be surprised if I was working for it. So as a result, I will want to try and do every single ride in one day, or at least every attraction, not ride, because some of the attractions aren't technically rides. But yeah, all attractions in one day in Magic Kingdom I want to do, and then see if I can complete the ultimate touring plans for all the other 3 parks. Fingers crossed. Now, number 1, if you've watched my DCP tag, you will know that it is to do all the things. And I mean everything. So I'm talking every attraction, every show, every meet and greet, all that sort of stuff, etc. in all the parks. And yes, I am including the water parks, which terrifies me because, oh god, Summit Plummet. But I will do it. I promise you, I will do it. It's happening. I will be terrified out of my mind, but it will happen. So in addition to my bucket list, I actually have in a massive Google document a checklist of everything that you can do at Walt Disney World. I'm still going through it and adding things as I go, but I will actually have a link down to the doc in the description below if you want to go check it out, because I will be updating it while I am there, crossing things off and adding extra things if I hadn't thought of them, and just keeping track of every single thing that I have done that I haven't ever done before and what things I still need to do. So then I will never be bored on the program, because if I say, oh, I'm bored, what do I do in the parks? Look down at the list, you got something to do. And if you're interested in using this format for yourself, I will have a link in the description down below to a sort of blank template version so that you can customize on your own and use for your own bucket list if you're there. We've still got another part to go, but I definitely think that at the end of this program, I will make another video and we will go through that list to see how much did I actually manage to get done in 5 months. But until then, TTFN!